Hi everybody, welcome once again to Out of the Ordinary into the Extraordinary. I'm Robert Taylor, coming to you on WMTV.
And I'm Pamela Hill Taylor, and as you know, we bring you guests who uplift, enlighten, inspire, educate, entertain.
And we can especially say that
Oh,
today.
especially today.
We have a very wonderful guest all the way from India and accompanied by a guest all the way from Farmington Hills. And our guest is a very honored guru in India, His Divine Grace Divya Chaitanand, accompanied by Sampat. Welcome to the show. Namaste.
Namaste, namaste to everybody.
Namaste.
Be all happy and blessed by God.
Thank you. So, Swamiji, Guruji, perhaps you could first of all tell us how you came to be in this exalted position.
See, actually, nobody can really explain how he came into this line. The way nobody can really say how he came into this world. But everybody comes in same way we also came on the earth. But by blessings of my gurus and my punyas from the past karmas, I came to this line. After doing my chemical engineering degree, I was in household affairs with my wife, kids. They are still there.
Yeah.
Gradually, insight was developing since my childhood itself. At the age of about 6-7 years, I could see Lord Shiva.
Wow.
But at that time, I didn't know all these things. But when I became about 12 years of age, then it all disappeared.
Really?
Still not knowing why appeared, why not appearing. But when I became more than 30 years of age, learning all this, then again I came to know all these things. But the answer proper is that it all comes from the past life punya, and in this life by the blessing of Guru.
So
Because gurus are always watching
yeah.
the soul where he is being sent by them.
So punya means past good deeds, good karma.
Fruits of good karmas
Yeah.
is called punya, and fruits of accumulated fruits of past bad karmas is called pap. Pap means you can say sin.
Yes.
Punya means good deeds. All accumulated from past.
So to have a vision at 6 of the divine Lord Shiva, that is an amazing experience.
But not knowing.
So you thought he was just a friend, yes?
I couldn't understand actually. It was dusk time in the evening. I was afraid in a garden, childhood age.
Sure.
And then he appeared there just to help or guidance, but not knowing anything about that.
So in the Vedic philosophy, they would say for such a thing to happen, you probably have been devoted to him many lifetimes before.
Yeah. Now I know that more than thousands of years I have been in this path.
Yeah.
Because now I know some from my past lives. Of course, I am not going to talk on these topics here, but definitely whatever is being said in astrology or in Vedic philosophy or in any religion worldwide, maybe any sect, all are true.
Yeah.
The only thing is we cannot reach that level. But truth is always truth.
Now in India, I know one of the things that a father will do when the child is born is immediately you take down the time, the place, and then you go to the priest, and the priest looks at the astrological chart. They can see right from that astrological chart that this is some divine being being born, right?
Yeah, it's true. That is called astrology part, and the horoscope they make. By the horoscope positioning of the planets, different planets, their inter effects on each other, they can know.
Yeah.
Because see, I tell you in nutshell, this horoscope is nothing but your passbook. The way you go to the bank on 31st March, the passbook is updated, your debit credit is clearly visible. And when you go in your social security card, everything is known.
Yeah.
In the same way in horoscope, everything is known.
Fantastic.
Actually, this system was adopted to help the coming beings. Because you know your deficiencies in the beginning itself, try to improve them. and you know your good qualities also, your abilities, try to develop it more.
Yes.
To remove deficiency, to develop your ability more. It makes you more balanced personality. The astrology system was introduced for that, but now practically nobody is following that. Only after 35, 40 years when we are in trouble, then we go and consult them. Then by the time they will say, hey, this planet Sun is bothering, Saturn is bothering. But by the time it becomes too late.
Yes.
If you start from the first day itself, or your parents start doing something in favor to adverse planets.
Yes.
Oh, to counteract the adversity?
Yeah.
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 To remove the deficiency. And actually, the planets never bother anybody.
Yeah.
So for example, there is a judge sitting in the court. He is not going to punish anybody. But if you are doing something wrong, then what he will do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has to give
Good
you the
analogy.
punishment or reward. In the same way, these planets are just judges, giving
amazing.
either rewards or punishment based upon your all performance, right?
Yes.
If we have done something wrong in past or in this life, we must try to rectify of our own. Nobody else is going to come and help you.
No vicarious atonement.
No, no, not at all. The way we go and pray, Father, God, you do.
Yeah.
He will never do anything.
Yeah.
He will only say, see, I have given you knowledge, and God's knowledge comes through scriptures. Your soul is God is live, definitely live. But we cannot see, we cannot perceive. We can understand from the sayings of the spiritual masters, from God
Yes.
Himself.
Yes.
Whenever God comes in any form or in form of His Son itself, about Jesus He says, Father.
Yes.
It means His Son. So knowledge is coming through that. That knowledge is still life. Knowledge can never die.
Yes.
Really God is life. I do agree. I am very happy to get this topic.
Yes.
The only thing is He is life, and definitely we are also life. We cannot say we are dead. You are live, I am live, both are live. So live things can make lot of changes. Why we are not able to make lot of changes in the universe? Why we are not able to make the world really a place of God?
Yes.
Do you really think that this place is worth for living a God? How much sin is there?
Yes.
How much bloodshed, how much hatred? We talk only of love, but we are not practicing love anywhere.
Right.
Countries fighting with countries, neighbors fighting with neighbors, religions fighting with religions, everything fighting. Is this the nature of God? Is fighting the mode of love? We are all gone array.
Yes.
But really God is life, He will definitely take control, and gradually He is taking control also.
So would you say that the situations in the world because people are in the bodily concept of life and they're not on the spiritual platform?
Yes. See, I tell you, one individual horoscope is based on individual karmas. In the same way, collective horoscope is there. Right?
Yes.
Suppose all Americans are doing only good things. Right?
Yes.
Or all are continuously trying to develop their country in material world, physical world. Definitely they are successful. It's on collective platform. It's
Right.
not that only one man's end. Neither one individual labor or one individual president or one individual anybody can do. It's on a collective platform. In the same way on the earth itself, these things are collective. This is called accumulated fate.
Yes.
Of the earth also, of the countries also, of the families also. These collective things are very important. That's why all scriptures say go for prayers in collective mode,
Yes.
not individual.
Yes.
Even we also say. So if I give you some simple example, suppose 4 persons are sitting here. You have some voltage. You have some voltage. Everybody has some voltage, small voltage. But if all these voltages combine, then it can make some big voltage.
Big
And if
power.
the combined voltage of the entire population of the earth is taken, then very big voltage. It creates a lot of changes. If we think it that way, that's why every scripture says pray in group.
Yes.
Yeah, very powerful.
And now in India you say Sankirtan. Sankirtan.
Yeah.
Glorifying
Otherwise-
God together.
Yeah. So prayers in mass.
Yeah, that's
Good
fantastic.
thoughts in mass. Your thought will permeate me. My thought will permeate you. This law, this universe is working on electromagnetic exchange, on the exchange of ideas, on the exchange of mentality, because everything is live. Actually, when we really go and analyze, everything is live, not only God.
Yeah,
This table is live, this flower is live, everything is live. Because unless there is life, there can be no vibration,
uh-huh.
no energy. And wherever there is energy, there is vibration, there is life. That's called Pran Shakti. But the difference is we cannot perceive that. This microphone is live, this TV is live. Actually, TV is not live,
Yeah,
but the person's looking, they are getting all live things. In a cinema hall, if you go watch the movie, with every scene you will react like that. How you react, that is live, the effect is live.
Yep.
That makes you to react. Either you will weep or enjoy or dance in the cinema hall. But actually, on the screen everything is not live. So God is live, no doubt about it.
yeah.
What else you wanted to know?
I'm also interested to find out how Sampat came to be connected to you.
Yeah. Let Sampath will tell.
Yes.
You know, it was he who came to United States in 2005. That's the time when I met him. You know, it was such a coincidence that a friend of mine, he said, who were together 10, 15 years prior to that. So he said, my Guruji is coming to United States. He's going to stay with me, and I'm arranging a group gathering. Can you come to my house? So that's the first time I met with him, and he gave a talk, a spiritual talk.
Yeah.
Very interesting, very impressive. And for various reasons beyond my knowledge, I have been in this, connected to this spirituality and religion right from my school days, college days. All goes to my parents who are also religious.
Yes.
And so I have been brought up in that atmosphere, and I have been continuing. But at various stages, I have met different people, and this was one of them. You know, when he came, it was more impressive. Put it this way, it's like it was like a powerful magnet. I am a small piece of iron, got attracted.
Now,
So-
maybe a student from a previous life.
Yeah, past
Yeah,
life connection.
definitely, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the main this thing. And then from that time onwards, you know, during that period, he was here for a couple of months. On many occasions, we met, we talked, clarified a lot of doubts. Being a guru, and
Yeah.
I could see in him the real ability to clear a lot of my doubts.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I was able to impart various spiritual knowledge, the religious knowledge, you know. And not only that from the spiritual point of view, but also from the real world material life point of view, being a family man, how he managed and balanced his material life and the spiritual life.
Yep.
He attained the highest success, what I feel, in the spirituality, but at the same time, he was very successful in his family.
Yeah.
Has 4 daughters and a son, all are well educated, all married. The thing, he had his responsibility. He never shunned from the responsibility. He fulfilled all of them, took care of every family activity.
Yeah.
Being a chemical engineer, businessman, but at the same time, spiritual progress in him, I could see.
Yeah.
That's something really remarkable. We always come across somebody materially very successful, spiritually not,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
spiritually very successful, materially not.
Yeah. But the
So
both-
it's a combination of both. So
Yeah.
it's like a wings of the plane and the birds
Yeah.
balancing both and just
Yeah.
keep going. And that really attracted me, and it was very, very impressive for, like, the situation was such. I said, I need to learn more from him.
Yeah.
And I continued year after year after year, and that's how I came in
That's
contact
fantastic.
with him.
Now, I understand you're going to start an ashram here in the United States. Is that correct?
I wouldn't call it, it is like a mission which he wants to start. The mission is, of course, he can explain more on the actual spiritual point of view, but the mission is the Mahavidya mission which he wants to spread. The knowledge of 10 Mahavidyas which he can talk about, and that this is what he says is, this is the direction from his gurus. Hey, now you spread this knowledge. This knowledge has been technically dormant thousands of years. Very few people know, but it has not been out in the public.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he is trying to spread, bring up that knowledge. This is the era, this is the century where the Mahavidyas are going to take a big role. And
Has it got anything to do with the Mayan prediction of 2000, at the end of 2012, December 21st, everything is going to change? Is this connected to that?
The Mayans and other cultures that speak to the
See,
end
I
of this.
tell you, don't be afraid. World is not going to be finished in 2012. First thing.
Right.
We're relieved.
Second thing, always remember, God has given you or us, including me also, the ability and the capability and the capacity to change the things at our will.
Yeah.
Don't forget this.
The free will choice.
Yeah.
Free will choice.
Yeah.
Leave that free will. We can change anything. Even if it is decided that this earth is going to be finished on a particular day, you being a son of God, you can change it.
Yeah.
Provided you apply your all energies. So be ready. Don't get afraid to protect the earth. One thing. Second thing, when we talk of Mahavidyas, in Sanskrit literature, there are different Vidyas. Vidyas means spiritual knowledges,
Uh-huh.
branches of spiritual knowledge. One is Vidya, Avidya, Paravidya, Siddha Vidya, Mahavidya. There are many branches of this spiritual. The highest one is called Mahavidya. Maha means something very supreme, very vast. Like the way we say ocean, very vast, many Mahanadi will be called ocean.
Yeah.
In the same way, Mahavidya means supreme knowledge. The supreme knowledge that comes to the earth, it comes in 10-fold directions. Different branches are giving different names. And the names for them are 10. Kali, Tara, Lalita Bhuneshwari, Chinnamasta, Dhumavati, Tripur Bhaivi, Baglamukhi, Matangi, Kamla, including Kamakhya, the 11th one. So this complete thing becomes part of the Mahavidya mission.
Okay.
So this Mahavidya mission is highest knowledge as given by Lord Shiva in Tantra format to his first disciple, Divine Mother Parvati, to make their children, we are all their children,
Right.
to make them happy and powerful. What they mean by happy and powerful, it means you should possess perfection in life. In Sanskrit word we talk Om Purnamada Purnamidam.
Uh-huh.
Purn means perfect, perfection. Perfection doesn't mean only material success. Actually, the basic meaning of perfection is creation of all the necessities at will is called perfection.
Yes.
So there should be so much power in your will, not only free will, because it won't work. You are wandering on the road, you want pizza, you will not get. There should be very strong will,
Yes.
and that will guided and supported. Two things, guided and supported by the supreme power. There are two types of powers, one at our level, right? One at God's level. The energy or the desires at the God level, that is called Parasakti.
Yes.
At our level is called Swasakti, or energy of self. So unless these two energies combine together, positive results or the real results cannot be materialized. So that is the knowledge of the Parasakti in form of Mahavidya.
Okay.
So this Mahavidya is my mission. I have come to that under guidance and direction from Siddhashram, the highest place on the earth in terms of spirituality. There is nothing higher than Siddhashram.
The Siddha Ashram.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's called Siddha Ashram.
Is that in the Himalayas?
Yeah, it is in Himalayas, but not actually known by physical eyes.
Is that connected to Babaji?
it's place for Mahavatar Babaji, whom you call Babaji.
Yeah.
And it is connected with the Yoganand, Vivekanand, Jesus,
Yes.
others.
Yeah.
It's my connection also from the same origin.
Fantastic.
So my mission at this moment for the world is Mahavidya mission. So I move according to that. But one thing I tell you, when we talk of Tantra, there are two aspects. One in Tantra, Vam Marg, one is the right marg, Dakshin Marg.
Yes.
I don't carry on anything from the Vam Marg. My format of this tantric system is in its pure sattvic and purest form, as originally given by Lord Shiva. Not to harm anything, not to harm anybody.
Especially people in the West have been subjected to a lot of distorted teachings about the tantric path.
These all actually not proper representations. Actually, see in Tantra, in Vam Marg, they think of Panchamakar, and out of the Panchamakar they go for sex and wine.
Yes.
It's not a good thing. They give quotations from the scriptures, but these quotations are not actually part of the scriptures. Some bad malafide persons enter and they write few lines in anything get added on. Nobody knows really. But you think, suppose you are involved in sexual wastage of energy,
Yes.
then you cannot do anything to humanity.
You lose your power.
Definitely, if you are a drunken personality, drugged personality, what you will do for others? You are a drunken personality entering into your house. Will anybody love you in the house? Will you ever like that your children should come with lot of drinks,
No.
out of control, shaking and falling down? See, this can never be a part of Tantra. In its essential form, Lord Shiva has not mentioned anything of such nonsense things which
Yeah.
people carry on.
Yeah.
Even big aghoris, I have been with aghoris, I have been with Ishta Baba. My Baba Bhutnath was a perfect aghori, but they never took any such nonsense things.
Okay. yeah.
Purity in its pure form, your good dress, proper dress, complete perfect bath, good outlook, so that everybody looks at you and feels happy to meet you.
Yeah.
If I come with a very fearful designing personality, this, what? You will not feel happy with me.
Yeah. So,
God is not creating all nonsense things. So forget all these parts. If at all we can get some time, more time, then we will talk on Tantra. But in Tantra, I tell you one thing, meaning Tan means body, Tra means structure. The energy based inside your body with the particular structure as given by God. If that energy at your physical body level, internal part also, if that is awakened and that is connected with the divine energy,
yes.
right? This system of science is called Tantra. To connect your powers with that power and then utilize his powers for your benefit and for the benefit of the universe. This is the real meaning of Tantra, not this alcohol and other things.
Is that connected to the Kundalini?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kundalini, when you enter into Tantra to awaken all your energy, definitely Kundalini has to be awakened.
Yeah. So,
But never think of even awakening Kundalini, it automatically awakens. Even I come to different places here, I meet persons trying for Kundalini, doing wrong things.
yeah.
Even only by doing good things, by the grace of God, Kundalini naturally awakens.
Beautiful.
Right? Because Kundalini awakening depends upon grace or blessing of the God and Guru, nothing else.
So,
A little bit help is okay.
so maybe we're almost at the end of the show. Would you like to give us a message to all the people out there in general? To how
Yeah, I will feel
yeah.
happy for that. Now at present we are doing Lakshandi program in our ashram in Bombay. In that format, the Divine Mother herself in the form of Durga is blessing his sons. I am blessing in her own words. She is blessing. Sarva Badha Vinirmukto Dhana Dhanya Sutanvita Manusyo Mat Prasadena Bhavishyati Na Sansaya. The meaning is, by my appeasement, when I am pleased with my devotees, with my children, I remove all their obstacles. Sarva Badha Vinirmukto. And I give them dhan, prosperity, dhan, good eatables, good progeny, everything good, good, good. And in the last, I liberate them from all these material world's bondage, ignorance, everything. Ma sansya, don't doubt. So my blessing for everybody, don't doubt, God is really alive, in the form of Divine Mother also, Divine Father also, but for me, more in Divine Mother. That's more livable form. So my blessings to everybody, and thanks to all of you for organizing all
thank
these
you.
things. And everybody from you are most welcome to my Bombay ashram or my Kasi ashram whenever you will feel like, or whenever you want any type of knowledge in spirituality, you can contact. I am at your service.
And Sampath, locally, people can come on a regular basis to, you have a
Yes.
place here?
Locally here in Michigan, in Farmington Hills, that's where we collectively, in a group we gather.
Yeah.
And
Even when Swamiji's not here?
yeah, even when he is here, when he is not here, yes, we do. We do. There are small group of people
So
who meet.
ongoing.
Ongoing.
Yeah.
It's an ongoing thing. It has been going on for several years. And if you look at our website, www.divyachetna.com, that would give all the information about where we meet, what we do. So that's more easier to this thing. So a lot of people they have got good benefit by
Yes.
meeting with him. They have spiritually uplifted themselves, and in fact, more than they have now, the whole outlook of life changes after meeting him, and that's what we want to have.
We want to thank you both. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for coming on.
Thank you.
And maybe you can finish the show by just singing some prayers and mantras for the benefit of everybody.
Yeah. Om Sarva Mangal Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Saranye Trambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Let's all go in lotus feet of Divine Mother. She will take our care.
That's so beautiful.
Thank you very
once
much.
again.
Thank you.
And we'd like to thank all of you for joining us on Out of the Ordinary into the Extraordinary. Don't forget.
God and Goddess are alive, and magic is afoot.
Thank you all so
That's
much.
why I will always sing Divine Mother, Divine Mother.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very good.